Do you miss those handy MiniDV tapes from almost 20 years ago? Does the sound of opening that videotape compartment give you a deep sense of nostalgia? And if you enjoyed that low fidelity digital video from back in the early 2000s, then this camera may be for you. This is the Canon ZR800 MiniDV camcorder. It was released back in 2007. And it is actually not an analog camcorder, it's a low-resolution digital video camcorder. And of course it uses those old MiniDV tapes that let you record up to 90 minutes of footage or 60 minutes on SP mode. And surprisingly, these ones are still available, pretty widely available online on Amazon or eBay. I'll put a link in the description in case you want to pick up some of these tapes. I'm not sure if they're still manufactured or if they're old stock, but they are still widely available. And I use these Maxell ones that are pretty cheap still online. Physically, it follows a very similar design compared to those classic Handycam camcorders from Sony from back in the 90s. But it's of course quite a bit smaller compared to that Sony, mainly because of the size difference of the tape. Of course, the Sony uses high 8 or 8mm tape, and the Canon ZR800 uses the MiniDV tapes, which are quite a bit smaller. And of course, it's a lot narrower because of the more modern technology that they had back in the early 2000s. But it still kept that old hand strap, which was very common in those older camcorders from the 80s and 90s. And of course, it also has that fully articulating screen, which you can use to record yourself. It uses a Canon video lens with an aperture or a variable aperture of f2.0 to 5.0. And it has an optical zoom of 35x with a focal length of 2.6 all the way to 91 millimeters. Very impressive. And it also has a really nice color viewfinder here in the back with a diopter, and the viewfinder is automatically engaged when you close the LCD screen. So obviously this camcorder was designed for the general population, not for the professional market. So most people were going to be using it as a manual mode. Right here in the very top, you can go to the easy mode. So that way the camcorder will select all the settings automatically. However, the camcorder does allow a few manual settings adjustments if you go to the P mode, which stands for program. If you click on that, then you'll be able to go to the function menu here in the LCD screen, and then you can select different exposure modes like portrait, sports, night, and then you can also change the white balance, and you'll also be able to select different image effects as well. But that's about it. So I'm not gonna show you all the different settings that this camcorder can do. It's just too many to show. But I'm just gonna show you the main highlights of the settings. So if you go here to function and then you select the menu here using the joystick here in the LCD screen, then you can go here to the first group of settings and scroll down here to where it says widescreen and click on widescreen. And here you can toggle between the widescreen or 16:9 aspect ratio or the 4:3 aspect ratio for all those older televisions. Then if you go back to function, back to menu, go to the next level of settings and go to rec mode. And then you can select rec mode. Here you can toggle between SP, which is standard play, or LP, long play. So like I showed you in that little MiniDV tape before, SP mode allows you to record up to 60 minutes of footage. LP mode lets you record up to 90 minutes of footage. But note that if you use LP mode, the video quality will be much lower compared to SP mode. So I usually just leave it there at SP mode. So I've been using this ZR800 for a couple of weeks now. Actually took it out on a little road trip a while ago. And it's definitely a very fun camcorder to use. It's just so small, just easy to put in any camera bag or just anywhere. And bring some of these old MiniDV tapes and play around with it on a road trip or whatever. It definitely is a good camcorder if you're trying to create that kind of vintage aesthetic from back in the early 2000s. But again, it is not analog video. Technically, this MiniDV tapes record in digital video. It's just a low resolution digital video. So if you're looking to do something more analog, I definitely recommend something more like this. More of the Sony Handycams from back in the early, from the 90s, compared to something like this. This is gonna be something more reminiscent to that low resolution digital video from back and from the 2000s. The only real issue that I noticed using this camcorder was that you're definitely gonna see some shakiness when you zoom all the way in to a specific subject, because the zoom is just so powerful and there is essentially no image stabilization compared to more modern camcorders. So you're definitely gonna see some shaky footage if you zoom all the way in and you're not using a tripod. Aside from that, it does tend to struggle sometimes with focusing, especially if you're trying to focus on a specific subject that's covered by something else. For example, if you're trying to record a bird that's behind some branches, the focus is not going to be too good compared to more modern camcorders as well. But aside from that, this is a fantastic little camcorder. I had a lot of fun using this. Again, you're going to be able to create some very unique and different type of footage. If you take it out on a road trip or whatever, definitely hits that early 2000 kind of nostalgia with this. So let me know if you have this camcorder. Let me know what you think about it. I'm going to leave you with some footage that I took during my road trip. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.